Hi guys, part 2, and this time we're going to start the fire caves. Now, hopefully I'm going to have a successful run through the caves. I've done this twice before, but without the commentary. Trying to talk to myself, trying to get an idea of what I'll say. But, to be honest, after about halfway I was totally blank of things to say, so we'll see how I go. But when you start the caves, you start off with a level 22. Now, these monsters are possibly the most common in the caves, and arguably the most annoying. When they hit you, they will drain your prayer for between 1 to 6 points, depending on how high they hit. Now, this may not seem much, but throughout the caves, if you're going to be taking damage from these, it's going to stack up over time. And especially if you've got 2 of them on you, your praying mage, you might have another prayer on like turmoil or piety. You never know, your prayer might drop and you might get maged by the 360s and die. So you always have to watch out. The next monster you find's this level 45. Now they're quite accurate for the level, but they're not really going to damage you too badly. They do have a recoil effect, which when you melee them they'll rebound some damage onto you, which is only 10 or 20 damage, depending again on how much you hit. And they're never really gonna put you in a position where you're gonna die, so don't worry about tanking them. And you'd always try and kill these level 22s in priority over them. Another thing about the 45s is when you kill them, they do spawn 2 level 22s, but again, these are nothing really to worry about, and they can just be left till last and then killed. And as you probably knew already, or you might have noticed, each wave there's either a new monster or another level 22 gets added. And when 2 of the same monster are around, in the next wave they combine to create a new monster. So in this wave we had 2 level 45s, so that means for the next wave we will have a new monster, and that will be level 90. So those monsters are probably the first that are going to be any danger to you, but still, in these early waves you can just pray on them if you want, you can just heal it easily, and it's not too much of a problem. So the new monster, these level 90s, they attack with range and melee. They're really quite an accurate range attack, but the melee isn't that accurate at all. So even if you're ranging or even mage in the caves, if you're up against them and you're not praying, it might be a bit of advice to go and stand up next to them, because that way, you know, even if they are attacking you, there's a chance they're going to use the more inaccurate melee attack, and that's going to potentially save you either bruise or just a bit of healing. Now on these early waves, if you want to be praying you can do, and I guess it depends on your defense level, or you know, the defense bonus you've got. If you're using a different setup, maybe you're in Rune or even in Void, then you might be taking a bit more damage. You might want to pray and be safe, and then save any bruise that you might need to be using here towards the end. But as we've got a decent prayer, a decent defense bonus, and we've got good healing methods, there's nothing really to worry about, and we can just tank them. Now, I do find these waves a bit boring myself, and I'll normally just drink some potions before I go in, and then literally just AFK them, because they take 10 minutes, and there's nothing really dangerous about them. But I've decided to record them anyway, just so I've got an entire run through of the caves. But you probably won't want to be paying as much attention as I am right now when you do this yourself. So we're starting to get a bit of low HP now, so just drop a brew or drop a restore potion, then you can either switch to your God Sword or to your Guthan Spear, and then we can just attack and heal ourselves up. Now if you've not used Guthans before, I'd say it has around a 1 in 5 chance of healing you, and it heals you for the amount of damage you do. So if you see there, I just hit a 200, and because that was a special, the healing ability activates, and it gave me 200 HP back. And you can see on the special activates because you have a bit of a purple spiral effect coming from the monster you hit. So whilst Guthans is a good way to heal, it might not always be the method you want to be doing. You might want to get a quick definite heal from the God Sword, but it is a nice option to take. So for these early waves, it's just really a case of fighting what comes over to you. Nothing really too hard to it. Heal up if you need to, just don't make your HP go too low, and just keep going through it really. And now, as you can see, we've had 2 of these level 45s, so we're going to be getting another level 90. And for this next wave, again, if you're lower, you might want to pray range just so you don't have 2 of them on you. I'm not going to bother, and I don't expect to take much damage from it, but always see how you go. One thing I do hate with the caves is when they spawn and you can't see where they are and you just have to run around and find them. So as we had 2 level 90s, getting something new, and this is what's probably going to give you the second most amount of damage in the caves. This thing here. Now it only uses melee, and in that respect it's not very dangerous, as you can pray from it, you can hide it and you can lure it, but it does have a healing ability which you just see there. Every 3rd attack it'll heal itself or another monster for 100 life points if it's under half HP. Now this means if you're a low combat level and you're not able to do much damage, it might be able to almost out heal what you're able to hit. But if you're using a whip, or if you can get Guthans, you should never really be in that position, so you've not got too much to worry about. So you've just got to make sure you hit them, try and get them killed, but remember, don't let these birds or anything just keep attacking you, because they're going to drain your prayer, and you can always heal up damage via your Guthans. So still a bit tedious right now, just a case of doing what you've already done, killing those birds before they can get to you or getting them trapped, making sure you don't take too much damage, just heal up if you need to, and that's pretty much what you're going to be doing up until about wave 31, which is where we find the next monster. Now you can see from my prayer, I've used a tiny bit of melee, but I've lost 21 points, and now we're only on about wave 18 I think it was, and if that's about a prayer point a wave, it's not too much, but as you can see it does add up, and whilst it's not really going to make too much of a difference, 60 prayer points, you'd hate to do what I did and run out of prayer on Jad and lose your fire cape because of it. So it's always better just to get them out of the way. And I think this is going to be the last wave for this part of the video, so just get these last ones killed and then it'll be time for part 2 I think. So I'll just lure this over around the rocks so I can stop the recording. As you can see, because it had the chance to hit me then, it healed itself because it was under half HP. It can be annoying when it does it when you don't want to. So there we go, thanks for watching, and part 3 should be up with you shortly.